to the sound of the rain. It falls like tears on my window pane. I don't have a song for the pain. I don't have a song for the pain. The tears keep coming back to my eyes, even when the weather's
edition of the SAC Press Talk, popularly known as the Hot Seat, where we discuss issues that shape our health, mind, and future.
Today, we are diving into a topic that concerns every student, because without good health, excellence becomes more difficult to achieve.
True, many students are working hard to succeed academically, but often forget that a sound mind leads to a body.
That's why today's discussion is titled Healthy Lifestyle for Academic Excellence. We'll be learning how simple habits like eating well, resting, and exercising can boost our learning and success. And to help us understand this better, we have a special guest in the house who will help us to share more light on the topic, Healthy Lifestyle for Academic Excellence.
Please join us as we warmly welcome Barister Tunde Odejayi, our guest. You are welcome, sir.
We are happy to have you in our midst, sir. Let's get started. We have a lot to learn.
Sir, when we say healthy lifestyle, what exactly does it mean?
Good morning, everybody, once again. Good morning, everybody. Let's answer your questions directly. So when we say healthy lifestyle, I'll use Nigeria as our context. Of course, we are all Nigerians. Healthy lifestyle goes beyond just not being sick. It means making deliberate, informed choices every day that contributes to complete physical, mental, and social well-being. So healthy lifestyle includes having balanced diet, which is your nutrition, being engaged in a lot of physical activity, which we can term as exercise, adequate rest and sleep, stress management and our mental health, of course, and good hygiene. All of these things, they are not conclusive, but they form part of things that you want to consider when you talk about having a healthy lifestyle. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, how can a student's lifestyle affect his or her academics?
Thank you for that question. So, a student's lifestyle is arguably the biggest determinant of their academic performance that is outside your curriculum, your school curriculum. Now, this is how your lifestyle affects your academic performance. I'll put it in two categories: positive impact and negative impact. Now, the positive impact of your lifestyle, it helps your improved concentration. This is what I mean. See, good nutrition, hydration, and adequate sleep leads to better focus. It makes you have longer attention spans in class, and then you have less distraction from maybe hunger or fatigue. Then it also gives you better memory. Sleep is when the brain consolidates memories. So a healthy lifestyle ensures that what is studied is actually retained. And then you have higher energy level. I'm talking about the positive impacts of a student's lifestyle. You have the higher energy level. A balanced diet provides steady energy, preventing midday crash. So that means during the day in school, you're not tired, you're not worn out for this and that. It prevents midday crash, commonly after high sugar or heavy starchy meals. Then you have fewer sick days. Our body is like a machine, the way it operates. So if you don't have if you don't have a healthy lifestyle, or if a student's lifestyle, could affect your health. But positive impact is that you have fewer sick days, so you don't have to call in sick every other time. You can be in school, you can follow curriculum, you can follow activities. It means you have fewer missed classes due to malaria, due to typhoid, due to common illness, and that ensures continuity in learning. And then the stress resilience, exercise and good sleep helps you manage, anxiety, pressure, and then allows the students to perform better under stress. Now, so we look at, I've just mentioned some positive impacts of the student's lifestyle. Now you look at the negative lifestyle. It's poor habits, like maybe keeping late nights, high sugar level, that is from eating a lot of junks, no exercise. Some of these things, they lead to low energy, they lead to frequent illness, they lead to poor concentration, they lead to mood swings, and you are easily burnt out. And all of this, they drastically reduce learning, and they can affect your exam scores. Thank you.
So why is it important for students to start developing healthy habits early in life?
Now, I'll answer that question in two ways before I go to my notes. If you develop an habit early in life, you grow into it and it becomes part and parcel of you. For instance, the Bible says, train a child in the way he should go, and when he grows, he will not depart from it. So that is how I answer that in one bit. And then the other bit about the importance of students to start developing healthy habits early in life. You see, starting early is crucial for lifelong success and preventing chronic health issues. It helps you, when you start developing healthy habits in life, that helps you with the habit formation. It means that your habits developed in the youth are more likely to stick with you when you grow old, because your body is used to it, because it becomes a routine for you. It is more harder to stop drinking soft drinks when you are 40. That is, you are no longer a child. But if you stop taking carbonated drinks now, or too much of those now, when you are 40, it has become an habit with you. So you definitely stop, that. It's just like when you plant a tree. Of course, the tree yields fruit for you when it has matured, but it grows. If you don't nurture that tree well or that plant very well, chances are that when it starts developing fruits, it will not yield maximally. So peak brain development is one of the other reasons why it is important for you to start a healthy habit early in life. Because the teenage and young adult years are critical for brain development. Healthy habits such as good nutrition and sleep, they provide the optimal environment for the brain to develop maximum potential, leading to better academic outcomes. Now, preventing future diseases. You see, Nigeria is seeing a rise in lifestyle diseases like diabetes, like hypertension, So early healthy eating and activity reduces the risk of developing these conditions later in life. Maximizing your potential. A healthy body and a healthy mind allows a student to fully harness their talents and intellect. So it leads to better results. For instance, in JAMB, your WAEC, in your exams generally, your academic performances, and eventually in your career. So, let me just recap that for you. It's important for students to start developing healthy habits early in life so that they can have habit formation because of peak brain development, so that they can prevent future diseases, and so that they can also have an habit that helps them to maximize their potential. Thank you.
Can poor health really reduce a student's ability to concentrate in class?
The answer is capital yes. If I was just to answer in one word, I would say yes. You see, poor healthy habits reduces a student's ability to concentrate in class. It's very straightforward. If I come to class and I've not eaten, chances are that when it's like 10 o'clock or 10:30, I start feeling sleepy. I start feeling tired. You understand? That is just practical. But let me answer you from my prepared notes. So the answer is yes. Poor health is one of the biggest silent killers of concentration. See, nutrition-related problems. Yeah. So you see, low blood sugar, that is from skipping breakfast, or a sharp sugar crash, that is from taking sugary drinks, can cause fatigue, irritability, and brain fog, making it impossible to focus on a teacher. Chronic micronutrient deficiencies, like iron deficiencies common in Nigeria, can also cause severe tiredness and poor cognitive function. We have sleep-related problems also. You see, lack of quality sleep impairs the prefrontal cortex. That is the part of the brain that is responsible for attention and decision making and impulse control. A tired student will struggle to follow instructions and will be easily distracted and might even doze off, just like I said earlier. And then illness and pain. You see, headaches, persistent stomach aches, which are common with poor hygiene and diet, or body aches from malaria and other illnesses, they are all massive distractions. The brain's priority shifts from learning to managing pain or discomfort, which may be a result of poor health, which may be a result of poor health decisions that maybe students have made, something like that. Thank you.
Many students skip breakfast because of early school hours. How harmful is that?
It is extremely harmful. Skipping breakfast is extremely harmful for a student, especially in Nigeria where school days can be long and strenuous. I imagine that all of you that are here now, you've got up before 7 o'clock to prepare for school, So, you see, when you skip breakfast, there are chances that you have the brain fuel depletion. You see, breakfast, or breaking the fast, as the name implies, restocks the body's glucose stores, and the brain runs on glucose. I'm sure you all know that. You see, so skipping breakfast, skipping this meal means that the brain is running on fumes, and by mid-morning, it leads to reduced concentration, it leads to low energy and moodiness, it leads to overeating later, and it reduces immunity. So I can only suggest that the solution to this is, even if the time is tight, students, you can opt for quick, healthy, local options like a handful of nuts, take something very light. But you see, if you skip breakfast before you come to school, it is extremely harmful. So that is my answer to that. Thank you.
What type of food should a student eat to stay active and focused throughout the day?
Alright, so I'm going to answer your question. What type of food should a student eat to stay active and focused throughout the day? But before I answer your question, I'm not an authority in this field. When you introduced me as Barister Tunde Odejayi, not doctor, right? You did not say I'm a nutritionist. So this is only from my own research. I'm not an authority in this. But like I would say, students need a balance of complex carbohydrates, lean protein, and healthy fats. Now let me give you an example of some of these things. My examples are not conclusive, alright? So for complex carbohydrates, the function of that is that it provides slow but sustained energy to the brain and body. Example of foods like that are beans, rice, whole wheat, bread, oats. Of course, we are Nigerians, so amala is an example of that. We have millet and you have maize. Now, lean protein. I mentioned lean protein earlier. Lean protein are essentially for muscle repair and for producing neurotransmitters for focus and alertness. Examples of lean protein are egg, fish. We know Titus or Ejashawa. Those are examples of lean proteins. Akara, chicken breast, lentils, milk, and yogurt are example. Now, I mentioned healthy fats earlier. Healthy fats are crucial for brain function, hormone production, and feeling satisfied. Example of foods that qualify as healthy fats are granules, cashew, avocado, that is what we call pear. Avocado, pear, palm oil in moderation, not that you go and start drinking palm oil, coconut and fish. Then you have vitamins and minerals. These are key for immune functions and overall body processes. Example of vitamins and minerals, you have fruits. We all know fruits. You have oranges, you have pineapple, you have mangoes, you have bananas. And by the way, mango is one of my favorite fruits. You have leafy green vegetables like ugu, you have efo, you have ewedu, you have tomatoes and carrots. And of course, more importantly, you have water. They say water is life. So hydration is for optimal brain function. Drink clean, safe water. Thank you.
Thank you. Some of us enjoy snacks, soft drink, and fast food. What are the dangers of eating too much junk food?
The dangers, yes, so junk food consumption is a growing trend in Nigeria, alright? And it poses significant health risks for students. See, there's a sugar crash. I mentioned sugar crash earlier. You see, soft drinks and high sugar snacks, they cause a rapid spike in your blood sugar, giving temporary bursts of energy, followed by a severe crash, leading to fatigue and inability to concentrate. We have nutrient replacement. when you eat junks, alright, you know, they're high in empty calories like sugar and bad fats, but low in essential vitamins like minerals and fiber. So when students fill up on junks, they miss out on some of those nutrients that I mentioned earlier. You see, when you get an obesity, it will shock you that when you take junk, they affect consistent consumption of high calories and low nutrient foods. They lead to weight gain, which is a risk, you know, increased risk of illness. If you eat food that don't have nutrients, that don't give you the nutrients that your body requires, then you have an increased risk of illness, and then you probably have digestive issues. Some of these foods are not healthy. These junk foods that you take, some of them are not really healthy. You lead sometimes to digestive issues. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. How much water should a student drink daily, and why is hydration important?
All right. I will answer you first by how much water should you drink in a day. All right. So the general recommendation is that a young adult, that is a teenager, should take about 2.5 liters of water, or 3 liters of water a day. But this, of course, is based on the climate and physical activity. You see, the water that we will drink as students in school is different from water that a teenager that is preparing to take part in maybe a food competition is going to drink. So that's why I said that it is dependent on physical activity. We're in a hot climate in Nigeria, so it is crucial to drink water. Even when you're not feeling thirsty, it is important to drink water. So I think, like I said earlier, I'm not an authority in this, but I think that it is healthy for a student or for a teenager or a child in your age range to take like 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. That is about 4 to 5 sachets of pure water. Now, why is it important to drink water? It is important to drink water for your brain function, because your brain is mostly water. I'm sure we know that. So even mild dehydration can cause symptoms like headache, dizziness, difficulty in concentration, and mood swings. So sometimes when you feel headaches or you feel mood swings, maybe you've just not taken enough water. So instead of taking paracetamol, just take water. I'm not a doctor, I'm just saying maybe. You know, your energy levels are also dependent on how hydrated or dehydrated you are. So that is why water is important. Your body temperature regulation. I know there's something about being hypothermic and something like that. I'm not sure if they've taught you some of those things. So you need to drink water to regulate your body temperature, you know. And then waste removal. You know that water also helps in waste removal in your body. So these are some of the reasons, not all, but some of the reasons why it is important to drink water or to stay hydrated always.
Thank you, sir. Are there affordable healthy foods that students can eat?
Yes, there are affordable and healthy foods that students can eat, even when money is tight. Thank God that we are in Nigeria. We farm a lot, we produce a lot of our own food. So yes, like I said, Nigeria is rich in affordable and nutrient-dense foods. Yeah, so a food category, you have staples like you have beans, you have granuts, you have peanuts, you have maize. Most of us grow maize in our backyards, you know. You have millet, you have sweet potato, and it will shock you that gari is also part of the food. That, you know, when you look at vegetables, we have ugu, we have bitter leaf, that is ewuro, right? You know, the English for ugu is pumpkin leaves anyway, but I'm just using ugu because it's more relative with us, alright? You have water leaf, you have onions, you have tomatoes, you have carrots. And for fruits, you have banana, you have oranges, watermelon, pineapples, mangoes, we have guava. For protein, we have eggs, we have smoked fish, you know, we have several fish, and we have akara, we have soybeans, which is locally referred to as soya beans, yes. And then for quick snacks, you could have granuts, you know. Sometimes we have roasted and boiled corn, sometimes we have boiled eggs. But all of these things I have listed are actually affordable, healthy foods that students could eat. Thank you.
Some students believe sleeping less gives them more time to read. Is that true?
No, it is not true. If you sleep less, it doesn't give you more time to read. It's very practical. I would not say try it during, you know, Monday to Friday, but on Saturday, let's say that take a Saturday, all right, and read for a few hours, and then sleep the regular amount of hours that you would sleep, and then another Saturday, read for long hours and deprive yourself sleep, you realize that it affects you. So it is a myth, it is not true. You see, when it feels like you are getting more reading time, more reading done, the quality of that reading and retention is compromised. Alright? If you don't sleep regularly as you should sleep, if you stay awake more rather than read, to read rather than read and sleep, you are going to have poor retention. Alright? You are going to have reduced efficiency, and then you are going to have increased stress. So which would mean that the time that you should have taken to rest, or the time you need to do other things, you'll be doing them under stress, and it affects how you can perform optimally. So it is a myth. If you sleep less, it does not give you more reading time. In the practicality of it, you may think that you are reading more, but chances are that you don't retain as much, you don't understand as much if you sleep less. So thank you.
How many hours of sleep should a teenager or young adult have?
Okay, so teenagers are between 13 and 18 years, alright? Averagely. So I'll suggest that a teenager that is between the age of 13 to 18 years should aim for at least maybe 8 to 10 hours of sleep a day. That is like the healthy window, alright? For someone that is maybe slightly older, young adults between the age of 18 and 25, they should aim for maybe 7 to 9 hours of sleep. That is about 24 hours. You see, because for Nigerian students, school days often start early, like I said earlier, and they involve long commuting, and we have like the 8-hour mark, So you must sleep well to manage crisis, to manage stress and workload. And like I said earlier when I was answering that question about students believing that if they sleep less, they have more time. The trade-off is not worth it. If you sacrifice sleep for reading, it means that you are going to lower your quality of learning. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. What are the effects of sleepless nights or overnight reading on the brain?
I will list them, and I hope that I'm listing them so that we can make some researches on our own. You see, overnight reading, I think some of you call it till daybreak. When I was in the university also, I used to call it till daybreak. But over time, I also realized that it's not worth it, alright? So overnight reading is a common practice in Nigeria, alright? So if you read, the effects of sleepless nights, overnight reading, you have memory impairment. There are chances, or you are opening yourself to the opportunity or chances of having memory impairment over a period of time. You may have reduced cognitive function. Let me explain that. You see, your ability to think critically or to solve problems and apply knowledge is impaired. The student can read a question, but you might not struggle to formulate a coherent answer to that. It may also lead to emotional instability, because when you deprive yourself of sleep, there are consequences. It leads to increased irritability, because you are now irritable. Permit me to use Yoruba, because you've not rested well. The things that you should do ordinarily, like you're feeling very tired, you're not able to do them. You feel you're easily, you have increased irritability, you have mood swings, you have anxiety, and then you have reduced ability to handle stress, because you're always like almost on the edge, most often than not. Then you might go sleep, because you see, like I said, the body is like a machine. You cannot cheat your body. You cannot cheat it at all. So the brain will force you. It will force itself to sleep. So that is why sometimes, as I'm talking like this, let's say that I've deprived myself of too much sleep, because my brain, I cannot force it. To people, sometimes you see people sleeping off when they're driving, or sleeping off when they're doing things that are important, because they've not had enough sleep. You understand? And then you have weakened immunity. You see, chronic lack of sleep lowers the body's defense, making the student vulnerable to falling sick, like contracting malaria or a cold, right before or during exams. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So how does regular exercise help a student's brain and body?
Alright. Regular exercise is as crucial as reading for academic success. Alright? Regular exercise helps you. For instance, it helps the brain. That's your cognitive ability. It helps increase blood flow. It gives you better mood. It gives you improved focus, and it boosts your memory. Now for the body, regular exercise helps give you better sleep quality. It gives you stronger immunity, and it gives you healthy weight. Thank you.
Sir, can simple activities like walking or sweeping count as exercise?
Absolutely. Yes, they count as exercise. You see, in the context of a healthy lifestyle, any movement that elevates the heart rate counts. Any movement that elevates the heart rate counts. So walking, if a student walks briskly for a good distance, maybe to the school or to the market or around the compound, rather than taking a bus or sitting, it is excellent cardiovascular exercise. Sweeping and mopping, rigorous sweeping, especially of a large compound or apartment, is a common chore in Nigerian homes. Of course, it requires significant energy and energy expenditure, and the works of the arms, the core, and the legs. So it is great body workout. Other activities like playing football with your friends, like dancing, like fetching water, even vigorous gardening are all forms of exercise that can fit into a student's lifestyle without the need for a gym. It is just important that consistency is key. So if you, on a lighter note, if you don't exercise very well, when I'm passing through your class, make some noise so that we can punish you. And when you have punishments, you exercise your body very well. I'm just joking. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. How can students create time for exercise despite busy school schedules?
I know that you have very, very busy schedules. So you need to integrate, activity, exercise into your daily routines rather than trying to block out a specific time. You don't need to say, I'll exercise from 9 to 10 or from 10 to 12. However, rather than doing that, you should include exercise in your daily schedule. So, for instance, we spoke about commuting. If possible and safe, you should walk. Sometimes take cycle, maybe to school or out of the house or within the house. You should use your chores rather than treat your chores as punishments. You should treat your chores as opportunities to exercise. Sweeping, scrubbing, all of those can be dedicated exercise session. You do them quickly and vigorously. You see, your break time also, you can use them, like we said, football, skipping, push-ups, start jumps, some of those things. For instance, people that go up and down the stairs, yes, those are kind of things that you can include in your schedule as part of exercise. Social exercise. So instead of sitting down to gist or watch a movie, gather your friends, like I said, to play sport, football, tinko, skip, some of those things, yeah. And then you see, study while moving, review flashcards. I'm not saying carry your book while you are reading, I'm not saying read while you are walking, you understand? But you have audio notes. Sometimes you have a few friends that you decided to take a stroll together, and then you have a topic, and then you are discussing that topic. That is also a form of studying, you understand? Then maybe if you wake up usually by 6:30 or 6:40, and then you get ready for school by 7 o'clock, which means you take like 20 minutes to get ready. Why not wake up 15 minutes earlier if you need dedicated time? You understand? You take 15 minutes to exercise, and then you get ready for school. Thank you.
Wow, what an enlightening discussion we've had today. We've truly learned that good health is the foundation of academic success. Thank you so much, Barister Tunde Odejayi, for opening our eyes to the truth that our lifestyle determines how far we go in life.
Before we end today's session, sir, do you have one final word of advice for our students watching and listening?
Yes, so final word that I want to share with you is that you're not too young to start maintaining a healthy lifestyle. There's never a time to start. What I mean by that is that even if you have not started now, you could start now, so that as you grow into it, at least you have a patterned lifestyle through which you can maintain your body system, your body health, and when you grow old, you grow into it, you have a solid structure to keep in fit. Thank you.
This is your daily choices. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and stay healthy.
So we come your way with another exciting and life-changing episode. Keep shining, keep living,